Welcome to Intellifluence, an influencer marketing service that you can actually afford. I'm going to take you through the process of setting up a consumer electronics influencer marketing campaign targeting bloggers. We'll go through the process from start to finish, and afterwards, we'll take a few minutes and analyze this campaign. This will show you just how easy it is to use Intellifluence to get reviewed, build awareness, and increase your sales. For the purpose of today's presentation, I'm the representative of the New Design brand, and I'm going to market our wireless dual charging pad for 2 phones. Once you have joined and have logged into your dashboard, you can go ahead and click Create New Campaign. First, give your campaign a name so you can easily reference it. Next, choose the type of compensation you want to offer influencers. It can be free product, cash, or both, and you can see that the fields change depending on which option you choose. For the purpose of today's presentation, we're going to go with both. And I am going to offer this product, the New Design Dual Phone Wireless Charger, for review. Next, we're going to add the product value here, as well as the cash amount the influencer will receive for their work on top of the free product. Then you can select how many influencers you want to work with. Now keep in mind you can change this number at any time, and you'll notice up here this notification that you do not have sufficient funds to pay this amount of influencers that amount of money. You can ignore that for right now. We'll come back to that. Next, the required work section is really important, so I want to take a minute to highlight it. You want to make sure you include all of the required work associated with your campaign. We've noticed if there's ever an issue with a transaction, it's typically because there's a miscommunication here within the required work section. You want to be very explicit with what you're looking for. So I include all of the information here associated with my campaign. I'm looking for enthusiastic consumer electronic or tech bloggers to create an in-depth review on their blog for this product. Please include high quality imagery, the post length. I'll let them know that I will provide a custom link to the web store, request they use high quality imagery, as well as payments information, how they will be compensated. I always throw that in there for good measure. Now you can decide whether you want to require their mailing address or their email address. That's up to you. In this case, I'm going to have the blogger order the product off of our website with a coupon code that I provide, so I don't need that. Now it's really important that you upload a campaign image, especially if your campaign is going to be live in the marketplace. I'll tell you about that in a second, but it's very important that you do this. So we'll add our image here. Set that, we're good to go there. Choose a start and an end date for your campaign. Let this go a little over a month. Now when you get down here, you'll notice the option to syndicate your campaign to public partners and display in the internal marketplace. So this is our internal marketplace that makes your offer open to all applicable influencers that meet the criteria that you enter in your campaign. And then this goes beyond to make your offer public to third-party partners. So having both of those boxes checked gives you the most visibility by far when setting up your campaign. Now the great thing about Intellifluence is that you can have a public campaign visible for influencers to apply to in the marketplace, and elsewhere you can also be seeking out influencers to pitch on your own at the same time. So basically it's double the effectiveness of most influencer marketing platforms. Next, you're going to select up to 5 categories that best fit your product or service. We're going to go with electronics and apps here. You can choose which country or countries you want to target, as well as what social platforms you want to target. In this case, we're looking for bloggers. This is less relevant for blog, but you can select a minimum audience size if you were looking for like Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, something like that. For the link back URL, I'm going to let the influencer know that I will provide a custom URL upon acceptance to the campaign. Now in the suggested post message, you can offer a prompt for the influencer to follow. as well as do's and don'ts. I'm going to put some brief styling info there, as well as a few things to avoid. For the suggested post message, if you've offered enough clarity in your required work section for a blog post, you might not need to enter anything here, but it might be helpful for like an Instagram post. If there's particular themes you want them to touch on in the post, but that's up to you. Now, once you've filled out all the fields, you've included all of the required work in a straightforward yet thorough manner. You have the campaign visibility settings, how you want them, and you've uploaded a campaign image, you can go ahead and click Save. Once you've saved your campaign, you are automatically redirected to our Discover tool. The Discover tool will enable you to effortlessly search our entire network of influencers and apply advanced filters to display the absolute best candidates. You'll notice this message letting you know that your campaign is live and here's what to do next. It's time to find the best consumer electronics influencers who are going to write blog reviews for us. So in order to make things easy for you, we apply filters based on the information you enter when setting up the campaign. So this ensures you'll only see good candidates from the very beginning. So we're only displaying influencers who will accept at least $100 in product value. They'll accept at least $75 in cash compensation on top of the product. They have the expertise in electronics and apps. They are located in the United States, which I set, and they have their own blog. So that automatically filters influencers that meet that criteria. And you can see all of them here. It's just an infinite scroll, and then you'll see the number of total influencers in this corner. So to change your filters, if you want to expand your search a little bit, just click on Advanced Filters here, and you'll notice that you can refine by influencer, you can refine by gender, you can change the countries. For the United States, you can select state, specific states, zip code, you can select a radius. So you could add specialties as well here to expand your reach. So people that'll handle, so that bumped our number up a little bit. You can select people you've worked with. You can search by their total, the influencer's total reach. Now this applies more to social media users rather than bloggers. You can change your budget. You can offer more cash. You could add more retail product in as well to search by that. For the blog, you can come down here to refine by website metrics. And so we have like our link research tool score, domain authority, Alexa ranking, and so on. You can hover over each tooltip here to see what each metric means, and you can refine your search by that. So you can, for example, choose to only display influencers whose blogs, domains have a domain authority of 20 or higher, for example. And then so you can, let's say you want to change that or remove that filter, you can just remove the filter just by as easy as closing that out. So here's our list of influencers. Now each influencer card is going to display their, in this instance, their blog address, their social networks, as well as their audience, their areas of expertise, the minimum amount of cash they'll accept, the minimum amount of product value they'll accept, their audience size, and you can just one click add to campaign. Click and then one click add to campaign. You can view their expanded profile right here, including their full bio, see their activity, and then view their website metrics at a glance right there. All right, now once you find an influencer you want to work with, you can just click here and add to your campaign, just like that. Then you'll notice a message here notifying you that you've added the influencer to your campaign, and you can click to go to it. Once you've added an influencer to your campaign, you'll see the transaction line here. You can add more influencers. And since we're offering cash in this campaign, it's time to discuss how to fund your campaign. At this point, you're almost ready to pitch. As I mentioned earlier, you'll need to add funds to your account before you send pitches if you're running a cash campaign. In order to fund your campaign, you just need to click the Add Funds button, which is displayed at the top of almost every screen within the system. Now you can easily add funds using the payment card you have on file that is tied to your subscription. Otherwise, you can click Add a Card if you'd like to add another payment card. If you're ready to add funds, simply enter the amount and click Add Funds. Once you've updated your funds, you'll see an updated account balance here, and you can also view an expanded account balance here that includes all of your Intellifluence payments and subscription history. You can also view and update your payment methods right here. Now that you have created your campaign, use the Discover tool with advanced filters to find the best influencers, and you've added those influencers to your campaign and you have funded your campaign if you're offering a cash incentive, now's the time to pitch the influencer. You can pitch influencers individually, or you can select multiple influencers to pitch using our bulk pitch tool right here. You can also remove them from your campaign in this instant using the bulk tool. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to send a pitch to this influencer, so I'm going to click Send Pitch. You'll notice the pitch is populated with your most recent campaign details. Since I'm offering cash, you'll notice the cash amount displayed here that includes the Intellifluence payments transaction fee. And then this total represents the total cost to send the pitch. If everything looks right, you can go ahead and click Send Pitch. You can also make any changes you want to this specific pitch before sending. If you want all pitches to reflect these changes, you need to edit the actual campaign. So you would back out, and then you would be at your main campaign screen here, and you would click the Edit button, and then you can edit any single component of the campaign right here. And then once you save that, all changes will be reflected in your subsequent pitches. All right, everything looks good, so I'm going to pitch this influencer. I'm going to click Send Pitch and send the pitch. Once you have pitched the influencer, you'll notice the status update there where you are waiting for a response. This kicks off the transaction flow. At this point, the influencer is going to review your pitch and either accept it, decline, or request changes via the messaging system. You can click Messages at any time to access our messaging system, which saves you from having to deal with email because email is cumbersome. Any correspondence with influencers will be stored here, as well as in each transaction within each campaign. So there's multiple ways to read your messages. When you arrive at the dashboard, they'll appear at a glance right here, or like I said, you can click the Messages tab to read all the messages from influencers throughout all your campaigns. And then you can actually just go right to the campaign there and click on the message box right here. If the influencer responds and lets you know that they are looking for different terms, you might need to negotiate by sending a revised pitch, which you can do right here if you still want to work with them. Now back to the campaign. Once the influencer has accepted the pitch, you'll receive an email notification as well as a notification displayed within your dashboard. You'll see a new message notification there, or you can go to the campaign and you'll see the transaction flow update right here. So now I'm ready to send the influencer the product and update this transaction flow, which will notify the influencer that the product is en route. So you can do this here, or you can also do this directly from the message screen as well. This opens your message thread here for the transaction, and you're going to click the Mark Product as Sent button right here. And then you can provide the necessary details such as tracking numbers or estimated delivery times so the influencer knows when to expect delivery. If the influencer needs to purchase the product from your website or a retailer, you can provide the instructions at this time. You can also provide any details such as a referral code if you want them to include it in their post. So now I'm going to mark this as sent, and you'll see within the transaction flow that it's been updated, the product has been sent, And now we just await the response. And we're back. We're in our dashboard, and you can see here in our latest message thread that the influencer has received the product. So we can go directly to that message thread, and we see that there. And you can provide a response thanking the influencer for letting you know. Look forward to reading the review. I find that it's always best to communicate constantly, just to keep things rolling along, and so both parties are involved. So now that they've received the product, they've notified us that they'll post a review. We just have to wait a little bit. And we're back once again. So let's go to the message section, and we see that the influencer has posted. So we'll go to the message thread here, and the influencer has included the post link. And so let's take a look at the URL to review. All right, I'm looking at the post, and upon reviewing, I see that the influencer has done exactly what I asked for. The review looks good. The link is promoted just the way that I want. And so I can go back to the message thread and mark this transaction as complete. Now, if there was ever an issue with the work that the influencer submitted, you can explain here in the message thread what changes need to be made rather than marking this as complete. Since everything looks good in this instance, I'm going to mark this as complete. Now you can include a thank you or an invitation to work again in the future. You can let them know that you'll update them on future campaigns if you want to work with them again, whatever you deem necessary. So we're going to mark as complete. And now you have the opportunity to rate the influencer's performance, and this will help us enhance the community even further. Now, in a perfect world, we could end the webinar right now because everything went exactly as planned. But the reality is, sometimes things go awry. If you've done your best to provide clear instructions throughout the transaction, but there's an issue with the transaction and you try to resolve it directly with the influencer to no avail, you do have the option to flag the transaction for further review. Now, before you do this, like I said, really try and work it out with the influencer. Effective communication will go a long way. But if you're just not getting to the bottom of it, you can click the flag this transaction button up here. And you'll notice this message. Please only flag a transaction for review after you've tried to resolve the issue on your own. Appropriate reasons for flagging a transaction include requesting help to get any party to comply with the terms of your agreement, bringing to our attention any party that has acted in a non-professional manner, or bringing to our attention any content that doesn't comply with Intellifluence policies. If you notice anything illegal, if there's serious issues with the content. If you're experiencing anything like that, let us know about it by flagging the transaction. Also, if you've sent a pitch to an influencer but they don't want to move forward and they haven't declined it, or you've changed your mind before any of the transaction steps past pitching have been completed, you have the option to archive the transaction, and that icon would show up right there if that was an applicable transaction you could archive. Now that we have completed a transaction from start to finish, it's time to analyze the campaign. If you haven't achieved the results you're looking for, there's several steps you can take to encourage greater success. First, you might want to adjust the advanced filters when searching for an influencer using the Discover tool. Like I mentioned earlier, you might need to relax these filters a little bit. You might need to expand the categories and relax the audience requirements of influencers in terms of their social platforms or blog visitors. For your campaign, you may want to edit it and offer more product or cash value to encourage more pitch acceptances and marketplace applications. You may need to be more explicit in the required work section of the campaign if the influencer's work is consistently not meeting your expectations. It's really easy to edit your campaign and adjust the advanced filters within the Discover tool. We created a video called How to Analyze a Campaign on our YouTube channel that you can check out for more advice on analyzing your campaign. Within any screen in our system, you can either take a tour and get an explanation of how things work. Otherwise, you can click on the FAQ link to go to our knowledge base where you can search help articles by topic. If your question isn't answered or you need some more help, you can submit a request directly to one of our friendly customer service staff members such as myself. I hope this webinar has helped you out, and we look forward to helping you reach your influencer marketing goals.